Hi, welcome to another edition of the Weekly Wrap, where we discuss nuggets mined from the galleys and newspapers of last week. Hi, I'm Cal Anderson, a local activist in Lynn, and your host. And I have another activist in Lynn, Drew Russo, Executive Director of the Lynn Museum and Lynn Arts. Welcome to the show.
Cal, thanks for having me.
Now, we were talking before the show about how the new museums aren't your father's museums anymore. They used to be static displays, getting dusty and never changed. Tell me what's happening now.
Well, I mean, we still are curating history, and so there are elements of what your father's museum was. But with new technology, new innovation, people wanting to kind of explore and be interactive in different ways, museums have to sort of come forward and do new and engaging things to bring public attention to their collections and the things that we're doing. That's, for us, going into public schools and exciting kids about local history and the types of things that we're doing, and then bringing them to our campus where we use interactive tools, a program called History Detectives, to really bring those stories to life. And it also is engaging public art as well. At Lynn Arts, which merged with the Lynn Museum in 2014, constantly we're bringing in new and innovative artists that really reflect the incredible creativity that's taking place here in Lynn, and really trying to be more of a resource for everybody while always shining a light in our history.
That's very well apparent, because Lynn Museum and Lynn Arts are not just a place for going to view static, passive art. They're interactive art now, but also there's a certain amount of social destination involved. Mm-hmm. Different groups rent the spaces to do different presentations, etc. Why don't you tell us about some of the exhibits coming up?
So right now in the Lynn Museum, and it's been highlighted here on LCTV, we have a wonderful show called The Vision Place of Souls. Jeff Fioravanti is an artist who grew up in Saugus, who lives on Pennybrook Road, right outside the entrance to Lynn Woods.
Now, he's the one with the visions of the Civil War.
That's right. Civil War landscapes. And Jeff is a tremendous historic preservationist. In fact, if you go on our Facebook page, you can see the video of a talk that he gave at our Museum Enrichment Series for Adults program back during the summer, where he just gave a stirring testament to really everything that we need to do to preserve our history, but also recognizing, as I said a few minutes ago, that times are changing, technology is changing, the way people receive information and encounter culture is changing, and so we need to keep ahead of those times. And so what we've done is we've built a wonderful set of programs around Jeff's show. We had Dr. Manisha Sinha in 2 weeks ago. She's the Draper Chair of American History at the University of Connecticut, known to some audiences for her participation on The Daily Show several years back, talking about her acclaimed book, The Slave's Cause, and really lends itself well to an incredible abolitionist history that is rich with here in the city of Lynn, through the works of Frederick Douglass and Lydia Pinkham. We have Michael Chesson from UMass Boston coming next month to talk about some of the, some Civil War battles and things like that. So really trying to paint a very compelling picture of what happened in our history and how we can learn from it, particularly in these challenging times, articulated and really envisioned through amazing art like that Jeff has on the second floor in our gallery.
I'm just amazed, because here's the tranquil sets that were the sites of the Civil War battles, juxtaposition with just an element left over from reminding people that this was a war scene.
That's
right. So it might be a tranquil landscape and a cannon. Mm-hmm. And it's just very well done. I've seen his work, and I'm just enthralled by it. So a couple of other things. The partnership with Lynn Arts has opened up a whole new set of opportunities. I understand we had a Comic-Con recently.
We did, through the Downtown Lynn Cultural District, right. And we have and I think people in Lynn are starting to learn we do have a cultural district. We have a phenomenal director in Carolyn Cole, who grew up here in the city, went off and had a fantastic career as an actress in Washington, D.C. She and her husband decided they wanted to come home, start a family, and she came and said, what can I do? And now she is really taking our cultural district to new heights. And the Comic-Con is part of that, which we were proud to host in Lynn Arts earlier this
Long
year.
overdue.
Long overdue,
You
and
know,
we're
it's
looking
been
forward to
talked
having
about
it
for
back.
years,
That's
and then
right.
Carolyn got together with.
And there were some surprises in that Comic-Con that,
there certainly were.
that were a great reveal to many people in this city.
I remember reading that Carolyn Cole played Tracy Turnblad in the Washington, D.C. production of Hairspray. So everybody's familiar with the character.
So
She
I met Carolyn
must have
Cole.
nailed it. She must have nailed it.
So I met Carolyn Cole 25 years ago when we were in Lynn Community Theater's production of The Music Man, where I was traveling salesman #1 and she was Amaryllis. And you could tell then that she was going to be a star.
You know, we've got about 3 minutes left, and I've picked a few things to talk about from last week's, and some of them have to do with arts and cultural in our city. First of all, in today's paper, mosaic set tone before beyond walls. Now here's a mosaic at the Heritage State Park that's been there for years. It goes back to when Jancy Chandler in the 80s and early 90s was director of the community development. And this was an early project which brought in artists again. And I was looking in this article to see if they mentioned the one at the Transportation Center. There's a wall there that depicts, almost in caricature ways, different elements of our city. And I think maybe we'll start talking more about that. Maybe I'll even do a piece on it coming up soon. But I just wanted to mention that the Beyond Walls is just the latest incarnation of public art in our city. Last Saturday's, look who's been in town. Denzel Washington's in town, and downtown's all abuzz with Equalizer 2 being filmed here, which I'm about to watch Equalizer 1 just for my own personal continuity. I remember the old TV series with Edward, whoever it was, in the 70s. Edward Woodward.
Edward Woodward.
See, two people always compliment each other when they come up groping for things like that. But Denzel's in town. I guess he's a nice guy, and they're doing some action scenes in places that we'll very much recognize. Speaking of other art, I just want to mention too, everyone is welcome in Lynn. Mayor Kennedy and with the YMCA's Welcome Week is making it very clear that in our city, people from all walks of life, no matter where you're from, are welcome, and let's all just live together in a community.
And I think if I can just add one thing, I think one of the things that we're trying to do at the museum and Lynn Arts, in the cultural district, you've seen it in Beyond Walls, what the Y is doing now, is creating that welcome. Our city is made up of so many amazing cultures. We have such diversity in our community, and I think that we're all working together to become more inclusive, and sometimes we can do a better job with that, but we're always progressing and aiming toward that goal.
Absolutely. We've got about a minute left. Now, you're probably excited about this. Regionally, Suffolk Downs. There's been a couple of near misses in trying to reinvent the space, but I'm telling you, this is one everybody's sort of getting behind. Amazon is seriously considering it a site for, I don't know if it's their national, international headquarters, or at least another national or regional distribution center. And that would be a great boon. And here, of course, it's linked in. If they're going to build that there, then we have hope for those two bottlenecks on Route 1A and maybe the Blue Line extension. Do you agree?
I do, and I think that that kind of development, which I think is probably more beneficial to the whole regional economic development picture, is, I think, more advantageous for Lynn, for Revere, than maybe the original thought for the use of that land was after. So I think if Amazon at Suffolk Downs or some other kind of development that really is focused on creating jobs can unlock that transportation potential, it's not just good for Lynn, it's good for the whole region.
I like it when the private sector works with the public sector. And Demoulas Market Basket just helped with our traffic situation when they built their new destination, and they put all that money into the roundabouts. So, Drew, that was my clock telling me we've got a few seconds left, so I'm going to let you wrap up. You got anything to say? You just want to close the show? Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. And until next time, in every way and every day, keep loving Lynn.